The latest tonight on the investigation into the 2006 Pinyon Pines triple murder cold case and a response from a former state assemblywoman whose son may know something about this case. Yesterday, the Riverside County District Attorney's Office told me they've consulted with the State Attorney General on the case about a potential conflict of interest. The Riverside County District Attorney's Office says the state has concluded there is no conflict of interest. Tonight, we have exclusive details on a past hit-and-run homicide that brings to light even more questions on that possible conflict of interest within the Riverside County DA's office.
It was 5 years ago, February 11th, 2009, that 18-year-old Danica Denton was hit and killed here in Cathedral City. She was 8 months pregnant. Her baby also died. 34-year-old Gina Garcia was arrested for the young woman's death about 12 hours later and released on $25,000 bail. The community came together to mourn Denton and her baby, and then went into an uproar, alleging Garcia's bail wasn't high enough and that she was given special treatment because she was married to Javier Garcia, a special investigator with the Riverside County District Attorney's Office. The Attorney General's office was called in, and because of that conflict of interest, they took the investigation over and out of the hands of the county district attorney.
Ms. Garcia's husband worked at the DA's office. That's one connection. And that was enough to meet the threshold of handing it over to the Attorney General's office, and in fact they did. If they took that case, they should have taken this one.
Luis Bolaños, a former cop turned private investigator, is talking about the 2006 triple murders in Pinyon Pines. He says that same investigator, Javier Garcia, is the father of a young man, Javier Garcia Jr., who he believes through his investigations has information on those brutal murders where 3 people were killed and set on fire.
We're not saying in any way, shape, or form that Javier Garcia Sr. is involved with this at all in any aspect. All we're saying is that there may be an appearance of a conflict. And one thing we know for a fact is that information specific to how that homicide went down, that brutal triple homicide went down, was leaked within hours. People at Becky's place of work received a phone call from Javier Jr. as to specifics on how that homicide went down.
And there's more. Javier Garcia Jr.'s mother is Bonnie Garcia, the Valley's former state assemblywoman who is currently now running for state senate. We found this photo on her campaign's Facebook. Its caption says, quote, "Thank you to the Riverside County District Attorneys Association for coming to my event."
I find it really interesting that in 7 years her name has never come up in this entire thing. She's been a pretty big powerhouse here in the Valley. Again, we have no information that she's done anything wrong in this, other that she's tied to it through blood. That's it. However, it's the appearance of a conflict that it's all you need to declare a conflict of interest. And there's another appearance.
Is there anything she can do to move this forward?
Yes, I think that Bonnie Garcia could demand that this is handed over to another agency also, because it helps clear her. You know, right now it's kind of a fog. And she may be absolutely fine, but again, you can't investigate yourself, and Bonnie Garcia, through default, is closely tied with the DA's office here in Riverside County.
I have reached out repeatedly to Bonnie Garcia and her campaign office. She herself still has not returned my phone call, but late this afternoon, someone from her campaign did call me back. I have extended an invitation for her to come into our studios to talk with me about this case and allegations that her son has information on it. And late this afternoon, she had a statement emailed to me. It says, in part, quote, "I can no longer remain silent while damaging and false accusations are made about my family's involvement in a heinous capital murder case. I don't know who committed the crime, but I do know who did not. The recent allegations by a person who is not part of the official investigation have turned this tragedy into a trial by media and brought false hope and additional grief to a family seeking answers. As a mother, I can't imagine the pain they are feeling, and that's why our family has been more than willing to help in any way to find the persons responsible. We are, however, respectful of the investigative process and trust they are doing everything possible to resolve this case." Contrary to false statements made by others over the last 7 years, law enforcement officials have never contacted me, nor have I inserted myself into this investigation. In addition, no search warrants have ever been executed at my home or that of my family members. To suggest that we have the power to stop or block a capital murder case is ludicrous. End quote. Now, we want to point out Garcia's response does not address the allegations of conflict of interest in this case, nor does it address the allegations leveled that her son knew information on this murder before it was made public. The private investigator, Luis Bolaños, who has leveled these accusations, has responded now to Garcia's statement saying, quote, "I stand behind everything I have said and represented 100%. We also reached out to one of the victim's daughters for her response to Garcia's statement today. John Hayward's daughter, Katie, tells us, quote, "I appreciate the long-awaited statement from the Garcia family regarding the triple homicide in Pinyon Pines. As someone who knew Becky personally, I would hope that Ms. Garcia would help my family in demanding answers in this tragedy." End quote. We've posted Bonnie Garcia's entire written statement on our website. That is at KMIR.com. Of course, stay with KMIR News for more on this investigation. We have new information coming in daily and new witnesses who have just come forward to us. We will be bringing you those interviews and new details in the coming days.